Have you ever imagined a fleet that never sank to the ocean floor, but instead stands decaying in a swamp like wooden mummies whispering the tales of hundreds of wartime sailors? Close your eyes and picture it. An expanse of water without rolling waves, but towering rotted masts and skeletal hulls scattered across a murky mud flat, waiting for you to step aboard. Each cracked plank holds a story: distant gunfire, the roar of storms, and vows of loyalty echoing under a cold, starless sky. This isn't a horror film, it's Mallows Bay, the ghost fleet where over 200 wooden World War I ships were abandoned and transformed into a wild labyrinth amid Chesapeake's marshes. Those decaying hulls, once laden with soldiers and weapons, now stand in lonely vigil, reminding us of a chaotic past and nature's relentless resilience over a century. Let's push through the veil of mist, listen to the echoes in the rotting timber, and uncover the mysteries lying just beneath our feet. Because only by venturing into true wilderness can we grasp the soul of this ghost fleet. Historical context, the war effort, and the fate of the wooden ships. By 1918, World War I had reached its apex, and America's need for transport exploded. Thousands of troops, machine guns, and munitions had to cross the Atlantic. Steel was scarce, cement was in short supply, so a massive wooden fleet was built overnight. These vessels, up to 90 meters long, with thick oak hulls, were thrown together on the east coast like paper ships, fast and temporary, yet strong enough to bear the weight of war. They plied the ocean, creaking at every joint, the sound of wood grating and cables snapping echoing in the holds. Each voyage was a feat of endurance. Sailors braced sails and fought fierce seas to deliver ammo and hope to Europe's battlefronts. Then, in an instant, the war ended. Instead of steaming on, hundreds of these wooden ships, still in high demand, were tugged back to Chesapeake Bay, only to be moored and forgotten beneath layers of heavy silt. Today, those once proud hulls lie like giant tombstones, cloaked in moss and barnacles. Every rotted plank reminds us that while war may be brief, its aftermath endures for centuries. Here in Mallows Bay, those vessels stand as wooden witnesses to history's darker chapters. Ghosts of the bay, legends and silent echoes. Local lore is rich with eerie tales of Mallows Bay's moonlit nights. They say when darkness falls and wind sweeps across the rotten decks, you'll hear the boards creak and groan with the phantom footsteps of long-dead soldiers marching in formation. Those sounds come unbidden, unmatched by wind or waves, each creak a heartbeat of invisible boots pacing the deck. One moonless night, a tourist paddling a kayak past a half-submerged hull heard the wind die away, replaced by the grinding of wood-like iron-toed boots stomping, like a saddle creaking under a rider. The boat froze. No one dared speak, only listening to soft exhalations in the cold haze. Some claim to have glimpsed a figure in period uniform, rifle in hand, slipping along the rail before vanishing into mist. When the moon peeked through clouds, no footprints remained, only the scent of rot and a chill creeping over the living. Though science may chalk it up to shifting timber or wind in the rigging, those stories still send a shiver down your spine. For in the depths of this marsh, the echoes of war linger, and the ghost fleet still murmurs its secrets in the gloom. Present-day relics, each ship a story. Now let's wander among the survivors, each vessel bearing its own tale. First is the city of Honolulu, the largest of the wooden wrecks. After more than a century, its massive rudder still stands firm, worn but unbroken. They say at dawn, sunlight streams through plank gaps and dances on the rudder, casting sparkling reflections on the water. There, you can almost see its final voyage, laden with munitions, cutting through fierce seas before being towed home, only to be abandoned in the marsh forever. Next is the Magathie River, now a crumbling wooden fortress. Its hull is draped in moss, warped planks forming shadowy portals. Yet despite decay, it stands stubborn against currents and time. Imagine stepping onto its deck. Each footstep echoes a melancholic melody, recalling sailors straining at the sheets, dreaming of safe harbors. Nearby lies SS Delaire, listing so far over that it salutes like a weary soldier. Old iron fastenings still cling to splintered wood, evidence of past turmoil in rough seas. And further lies Somerset, its bow buried deep in mud, forming a makeshift aquarium where fish and crustaceans flourish in the wooden grotto. Each ship in Mallows Bay is a history node, once heroic, now entwined with wild nature. As you tread the decks, notice every joint and rusted nail. They're the fingerprint of hands that shaped planks and fueled human hopes across the ocean. In that stillness, every wreck whispers its own chapter of honor and sacrifice. Unanswered mystery. Why don't they sink? Why do over 200 colossal wooden hulls not sink beneath these marshes, but instead hover within layers of thick silt up to 10 meters deep? At first glance, they seem to simply sleep rather than be buried. A puzzle that fascinates both visitors and scientists. Geologists explain the first factor is the mud's unique composition. Centuries of silt, organic debris, and wood fragments have created a waterlogged substrate akin to a giant sponge, capable of supporting heavy objects. When a ship settles, it compresses the mud slightly but never fully penetrates it. The surrounding silt recoils like a spring, keeping the hull in equilibrium. Then there's the tidal flow in Chesapeake Bay. Each high tide suspends fresh particles of silt around the hull, filling crevices. As the tide ebbs, those particles settle into a solid cushion. This daily rhythm repeats dozens of times, preventing the wrecks from sinking deeper. Finally, oak's buoyancy helps maintain the ship's position. Even though much of the wood has rotted, the remaining framework still generates enough upward force, like a giant raft keeping the wrecks afloat in the marsh's embrace. Science may demystify the process, but the sight of these wooden giants suspended in mist and mud remains enchanting. They stand as a rare convergence of human endeavor and geology, a wooden labyrinth forever refusing to sink. Exploration and immersion. Mesmerizing experience. Now imagine yourself balanced in a kayak, gliding across mirror-calm water, arching hull frames emerging like portals into another realm. The faded sails still bear ancient stitching, the joinery once vital for ocean crossings, now etched with the passage of time. Every paddle stroke stirs silt beneath, drawing you closer to your first wreck. The deck's decaying boards answer with a hollow creak, creak, like the heartbeat of a long slumbering creature. That sound is no mere sign of decay. It's an invitation to step beyond the boundary of past and present. Bend down and run your fingertips over barnacled planks, feeling oak grain once as firm as armor, now soft and fragile beneath your touch. The tang of rotted wood mingles with the brine of distant seas, crafting an almost sacred aroma, wild yet steeped in history. When fog drifts in, mist rising from the deck like ancient smoke, you become not just a visitor, but a storyteller, gathering shattered memories from every plank. This journey is no ordinary tour. It's a voyage through time where you merge with Mallows Bay's legends and carry its whispers in your heart. Spirit of preservation, legacy, and renewal. Today, Mallows Bay is a national historic park where nature and history intertwine. Those rotting wooden hulls have become shallow coral reefs, perches for gulls and nurseries for fish and crustaceans. Each wreck acts as a mini island, cloaked in algae and encrusted with marine life, creating an ecosystem found nowhere else. From desolation to vitality, Mallows Bay's wooden fleet is experiencing a stunning renaissance. Ospreys nest atop broken rudders, minnows dart through holed cavities, and carpets of seaweed drape the timbers like emerald tapestries. This extraordinary rebirth not only makes Mallows Bay an irresistible destination, but also stands as a living testament to heritage conservation, where the ruins of war blossom into a vibrant sanctuary of life. Can you sense history's breath echoing through those decaying planks, each silent inhalation laden with untold stories? Mallows Bay is more than a relic of war. It's proof of the past's enduring spirit. If you're eager to uncover more untold mysteries, type "Ghost Me" in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Dark Hidden History. Join me as we journey across space and time to unveil history's hidden corners. See you next time when we reveal another secret never before told.
More stories they tried to erase.